Today I'm going to be talking about the life and career of acclaimed actress Saoirse Ronan, an actor who has been one of the key performers of the mid to late 2010s, even with the early part of her career starting in the mid 2000s. At the age of 27, she has garnered a fair amount of success, managing to snag 4 Academy Award nominations, with many believing she should have won already. Let's start this video with her start in the industry. She was born in the Bronx, New York to Irish parents, but she soon migrated to Ireland where she was raised. She holds dual citizenship in both the US and Ireland and has even joked about how ironic her strong Irish accent is when she tells people that she was born there.
I was born in the Bronx.
Yeah, very cool.
Which I'm sure you could pick up as soon as I came.
Yeah, as soon as you started talking, I was like, that's a Bronx.
She's a Bronx.
That's a Bronx accent, yeah, absolutely.
Myself and J-Lo.
Yes.
While still in the US, her parents were actually undocumented and had came to New York to benefit financially. However, due to struggles maintaining income, they left back to Dublin when Saoirse was only 3 years old. Even though she spent some time in school, her parents had her be tutored privately at home. She was also raised Catholic, but explains she questioned her faith even as a child. In an interview with Flaunt magazine, she states, "As a Catholic, you grow up believing that there's an answer for everything and a reason for everything. I was 6 years old and I had nothing to confess. I remember all of us kids were like, what are we going to say? Do we make something up like we cheated on our homework or on an exam? Even as a kid, I didn't feel like it was right for us to make up something just for the sake of it. So I said to my mom and dad, I'm not doing it. I said no, so I've never confessed." During her early years as an actress, she auditioned for numerous roles, with one of the most high profile being the role of Luna Lovegood in the Harry Potter series, which eventually went to actress Evanna Lynch. Her first main role was that of the daughter of Michelle Pfeiffer's character in the 2005 film I Could Never Be Your Woman, which was a film that only released theatrically internationally, but not domestically. Being given a direct-to-DVD release, so many people might have missed her first performance. The film was referred to by some critics as desperately unfunny, but some pointed out Saoirse's role as one of the only highlights of the film. At the age of 12, Ronan attended a casting call for a film directed by Joe Wright, which would be called Atonement, based off of the novel of the same name. This was undoubtedly her first breakout role, which happened to happen in her second feature film. The role was intricate as she played a 13-year-old jealous girl named Brianna Tallis, who wrongfully accuses a character played by James McAvoy of committing assault on another woman in the film, after he sparked a romance with a character played by Keira Knightley. She was exceptional in her screen time and managed to garner her first ever Oscar nomination.
Joining us now on the red carpet is Saoirse Ronan, the 13-year-old star from Atonement, the youngest nominee tonight. Do you feel grown up right now?
No, I think I feel more like a kid than ever.
From this film on, you knew that Saoirse's career would only skyrocket. She was the 7th youngest nominee ever in the category at the age of 12. The next couple of years would move swiftly for Ronan, as she had a role alongside Catherine Zeta-Jones in a film entitled Death-Defying Acts, as well as the blockbuster The City of Ember. Both films received mixed reviews and failed at the box office. However, even with those two failures, she landed the lead role in the Peter Jackson-directed The Lovely Bones in 2009, in which she was praised for her performance, and the film did modestly well at the box office. In the film, she starred as a 14-year-old high school student, Susie Salmon, who was one day abducted and murdered by a man played by Stanley Tucci, who also received praise for his work on the film in addition to being nominated for an Oscar. While Saoirse wasn't nominated herself as she's been in the past, she still received praise for her role, receiving a Broadcast Film Critics Award, a Saturn Award, and an Irish Film Award for Best Actress. She also garnered a BAFTA and Golden Globe nomination, so she wasn't completely shut out. The next year, she starred in the Peter Weir historic drama, The Way Back, before teaming up with Joe Wright again for the first time since 2007's Atonement, this time in the lead role in Hannah, an underrated yet gorgeous action film starring her alongside Cate Blanchett and Eric Bana. The film was praised for its unique take on the action genre and its distinct action sequences from a director that up until that point only did period pieces. To this day, I believe Hannah is an underappreciated gem of a film, with Saoirse Ronan's performance being one of the highlights for me. She played a child assassin so well, and the film came from a very genuine place. Her career then never halted as she starred in the relatively smaller film Violet and Daisy, and in Byzantium in 2012. In the former, she acted alongside veteran actor Alexis Bledel in an action movie, and in the latter, she played a young vampire alongside Gemma Arterton. They both flew under the radar and didn't make much rounds despite mostly positive reception. During the young adult dystopian movie era of the early 2010s, she starred in her own young adult novel adaptation entitled The Host in 2013. The film was universally panned by critics and audiences alike. She did a film in late 2013 called How I Live Now, where she played an American teenager sent to live in the English countryside to stay with her aunt during an apocalyptic future. The film garnered decent reviews and her performance was praised. Now we come to 2014, a year pivotal to the career of Saoirse Ronan, mainly due to her role in Wes Anderson's masterpiece, The Grand Budapest Hotel. In the film, she played Agatha, the love interest of one of the main characters, Zira Mustafa. The film garnered near universal acclaim, nominated for 9 Oscars and winning 4. To date, it's Anderson's most critically and financially successful film. In the same year, she also starred in the Ryan Gosling directorial debut of Lost River. However, the film was panned, but that didn't really matter because in the next year she would star in a film called Brooklyn. In the film, she played a woman from Southeast Ireland named Ellis Lacey, who travels to New York City and marries a young Italian-American man, only to then go back to Ireland and juggle a completely different life as her marriage to the American remained a secret. Saoirse Ronan's performance was universally praised, and this is what one may call the second breakout performance of her career in the second half of her career up until this point. Saoirse almost reinvented herself as she was already a full-fledged adult doing a dramatic film as the main lead. She was nominated once again for an Academy Award, this time as the lead actress. Even though she lost, she would set herself up for much promise in the future, with this being her second nomination in the Oscars, becoming a major player. 2016 was a year that Saoirse didn't have any films released. However, she instead partook in the Broadway production of the well-known play, The Crucible, in which she took on the role of Abigail Williams for 125 live performances. This was also the year she filmed what would be one of the biggest indie releases of the next year, the Greta Gerwig-directed film Lady Bird, the film that put Saoirse Ronan on another plateau in stardom. I already go into what I thought about this movie before in my Greta Gerwig and Timothée Chalamet episodes, so please check those 2 episodes out, respectively. She was nominated that year again for the 3rd time in her career. However, she lost to Frances McDormand. Saoirse was so good in the role as Christine Lady Bird McPherson, and Greta directed the hell out of her. Every scene she was in, she commanded. It was a privilege to be able to watch her perform, and the role was so well written for her.
I want to go where culture is, like New York, or at least Connecticut or New Hampshire, where writers live in the woods.
Get into those schools anyway.
Mom!
You can't even pass your driver's test.
Because you wouldn't let me practice
The way
enough.
that you work, or the way that you don't work, you're not even worth state tuition, Christine.
My name is Lady Bird.
The same year, she also did 2 other indie productions, one being Loving Vincent, and the other being On Chisel Beach, both very solid films in their own right. In 2018, she would star in Mary Queen of Scots, in which she played the person of the same name. It was a period piece, in which she went up against Margot Robbie's Queen Elizabeth I. Both performances were lauded and the film was a modest success at the box office, while also being nominated for 2 Oscars, Best Makeup and Hairstyling and Best Costume Design respectively. In 2019, she starred in one film in which was her second collaboration with Greta Gerwig. The film was called Little Women, a film that was an adaptation of the 1968 novel of the same name by Louise May Alcott. The film was one of the best of 2019, and apart from being nominated for numerous awards, Ronan was again nominated for Best Actress, however, losing again. In 2020, she took part in the film Ammonite, opposite Kate Winslet. The film flew under the radar a lot for folks, and had very limited marketing. It also didn't make much money, partly due to the pandemic. This year in 2021, however, she was featured in Wes Anderson's newest film, The French Dispatch. Her role was small, yet impactful, as she shows up in the 3rd act of the film as a showgirl who helps kidnap a rich character's child alongside Edward Norton's character. The film was a success for COVID standards, grossing over $40 million against a $25 million budget. She also did a stage play of the Shakespearean titled The Tragedy of Macbeth, which ran at the West End Theatre in London. As of December 2021, she only has one film slated in 2022, a 1950s London period piece starring her in an ensemble cast with Sam Rockwell, David Oyelowo, and Adrian Brody. She also is attached to star in the next Garth Davis movie. However, no release date has been determined. I think that with the advent of the pandemic happening, we are about to embark on a new era in Saoirse Ronan's career. With Hollywood inevitably changing, one can only sense what kind of role she would take on next. She is an actor who has given her best in every role she's performed. I can't wait to see what she does and how her career will continue to flourish. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for future content. My name is Lance, and I'll see you later.